Hey guys, it's Josie, and today I'm going to be dyeing and cutting my hair. So we are in my bathroom right now, and I'm going to be getting rid of the blonde underneath because it has grown out and I just want something a little bit different now. So we're going to dye the blonde, and because it was bleached, I'm going to be dyeing it twice. So the second time I dye it, I'm also going to dye the rest of my hair. Now, I don't know how much of a difference it's going to make because I'm dyeing it with two different color browns. So I have the Adore Mocha in 107 and I have the Adore Copper Brown in 76. So this one is a little bit more red, and then the reason why I'm mixing them is because I think this one is a little bit more cool toned, so I want to add in the more red color to balance it out. And if my hair turns out to be slightly red, then that's fine with me. And I'm also going to be giving myself a butterfly cut, so that'll be more towards the end after I've dyed my hair, and that's the part that I'm a little bit nervous for because I have cut my hair before. Like, I've cut bangs and stuff like that. I've cut my brother's hair, but I've never like actually taken length off of my entire head of hair before, so we'll see how it goes. So to start off, I am wearing an old t-shirt, and I'm not worried about getting hair dye on it because I probably will. And again, it is like a reddish hair dye with a brown, so it probably will be staining stuff. And then I have gloves, and I have a kit that has like the bowl and the brush, which I will only use a little bit for this, and then the rest of the time I'll just be using the gloves and my hands. It also came with two clips, and then I have a little hair thing to wrap my hair dye up in, as well as an old towel I'm gonna put around myself and Vaseline to protect my skin. And then for the haircut, I have a parting comb as well as hair cutting scissors. So let's just get right into the video. Because I'm dyeing the blonde twice, I'm going to just kind of guess where it's at and then adjust from there where I need to make sure that I am getting all of the blonde in on the first try. And then, like I said, the second time that I dye, I'm just gonna dye my whole head, so I won't have to be as precise the second time. Now I have parted out the blonde, and again, I'm not really worried about it being perfect. I just need to make sure that I'm getting all of the blonde, and I have decided that I'm not going to use the towel this time, so that just means that I'll have to put more Vaseline on around my neck so that I don't stain my skin. Now it's finally time to start dyeing my hair, so I'm going to start with this 76 Copper Brown one, and I'm going to use this to do the first round of dye. That's just going to be on the blonde. Now that the blonde portion is dyed, I'm going to sit in front of this heater for 15 minutes, and then I'm going to wash it out. Now that I'm done sitting underneath the heater, I'm going to go ahead and rinse this out and then wait for it to dry before I start the next round of hair dye. This is what it looks like underneath. So you can see where it was blonde, it is very red, so it's like a burgundy almost, and it's showing up a lot lighter on camera, but in person it's a very dark burgundy. So now I'm going to go ahead and mix these two together and dye all of my hair. And before I start dyeing again, I am going to do the Vaseline again, this time around my whole face, my ears, my neck. Every area that I think I might accidentally get dye on, I don't want it to stain my skin. I still have a little bit on because I didn't fully like scrub my skin when I rinsed my hair out, but I am going to add more to make sure that I am good and covered. So I went ahead and just added both full bottles to my bowl, and now I'm going to mix it up to make sure that it is all one color, and then I'm gonna start applying it to my hair. Now that I have covered my entire head in hair dye, I'm going to once again sit in front of the heater for 15 minutes and then wash it out, and then we can start with the haircut. This is what my hair looks like now after washing it a couple times, and that means that there's gonna be less red now than when I first dyed it. So you can pretty much only see the red now when I'm out in the sun, but it is still there. It's just very dark. Again, it's very dark with the dark brown that I added, so it's hard to tell. And like indoors and everything, you can pretty much just see that it's dark brown. But red is also the color that I believe goes the fastest, so every time you wash it you're gonna lose hair dye. And I know that can happen with other colors, but red I'm pretty sure is the one that washes out the most. So yeah, this is what it's looking like now. And I will insert a couple clips of what it looked like right after I dyed my hair and when I was out in the sun. And again, when I'm inside, you can't even tell that I had any red dye added into my hair dye, but that's perfectly fine with me. I do wish I would have cut a little bit more off when I did the butterfly cut, but I'm still happy with how it looks, and in a couple weeks or so I'll probably cut it again just so that it stays around the same length, and I'll probably add more face framing pieces when I do that as well. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you want to see more, you can like and subscribe down below or leave a comment on what you want to see next, and have a nice day!